Hello, it is your sleepless god back with What If Midoriya's Dad Was a Demon? So, honestly, I was thinking about it. It's kind of cool that these videos are keep on going like this, so I'm having a blast. Uh, but, don't forget the deal. 300 subscribers, Percy Jackson comes back for another one. As well as if you want me to do other book series, anime series, and stuff like that, just comment down below, and I'll look at it. I'm not always gonna make them, but if it's a good idea, sometimes I'll put them up there and just say I'll do them. Okay, but with this one, I'll start with the recap. So last time we left off, we talked about how you know how Midoriya was raised up. He was an orphan, on the streets. He never wanted anything. He wanted the world, basically, in a sense of the word. In some sense, and he had two good friends, Hiraku, who was also from poor nature like him, and Ida, part of the richer class that came down with him because they're really good friends. And with Midoriya, he didn't really have any people that he could call, like family or anything like that. So for him, Ida was like a big brother. You know, uh, they finally him and Araka went into school with each other. Araka because of her amazing quirk and her decent grades, and mostly because of Midoriya's amazing marks, because he has a lot of attitude problems, especially with smoking, that you got into the school itself. With all that, though, we talked about the Sludgeville incident, and then we left off with Bakugo being captured by the sludge villain as Midoriya is about to do something very cool. Now, let's start the what if. As Midoriya already lit up a cigarette. See, as he steps over the barrier, as he hears a bunch of heroes scream, "Hey kid, you're not..." He keeps on smoking, almost annoying them in a couple of sense in the word. His sludge villain looks at him and kind of pushes back in shock, but also like prepared, like, just, "Are you ready?" As he said, "Shut up." Now, as he takes another whiff, "I told you to never touch anyone I like. Anyone. I warned you, sort ofly. Never touch them." Now, this might be an accident. Not, this is not your fault at all. I'm actually kind of sorry. As he takes a... But I'm going to have to put you out of your misery. I just want you to know this. But, see, finishes off his cigarette, drops it on the ground, and his sludge villain's like laughing almost. You finish as he grabs his blade and he pulls it out as he slams it on the ground as it leaves a crater, and he looks at him and says, "Yeah, me. Now I want you to know this. This is going to be a painful way to die. One of the most painful ways to go, actually, I feel like." As he pushes on his blade as it lights onto a black fire. "But I just want you to know this." As he raises up his sword. "You harm civilians, and I put you in your place." As he slashes down, as you see a massive form of black fire hit the sludge villain. As you see flames dress across his body, as you see Midoriya walk up, slowly but surely, and grab the arm of Bakugo Kakatsuki and rip him out. As the sludge villain is... sorry for the yawn, is now bursting into flames as you see his skin. Not even skin anymore. sludge burn as you see him screaming as Bakos is half conscious breathing as he says, "Whoops, Ramaturasu, black flames, immortal flames in a sense." He looks up as the flames are just burning him to the ground as you see the sludge villain collapse as a flame. He'll die, no matter what. As Midoriya picks up his sword and puts it back onto his back as he walks back over to Uraka and Ida. As Uraka says, was that necessary? As Ida says, yes it was. He was going to harm massive amounts of civilians if he didn't do anything. And with Midoriya's pistol, 6-shooter at least, it's the only way he could have got Baku out of there without causing too much damage. Midoriya's Amaterasu is a lot more targeted though. It can hit a particular target and only a particular target, or it can blast out to a massive amount of flames. And it constantly gets stronger every time he uses it. So even if it wasn't used the first time, he could have used it another time, and maybe in a couple of 15 minutes to 30 minutes to hit him again, stronger this time. As he's explaining this to Uraka, as Uraka says, "Is this true, Midoriya?" As Midoriya says, "Of course it's true, Ida's, the smart one here." As Ida says, he points up his glasses. He says, "I'm friends with you." A rock could be a smart one in this relationship. As Midoriya kind of smiles and says, "Hey, I don't believe a rock is smarter than me. At least, as Ida looks at him and says, "At least a rock could maybe make a decision. You are very patiently waiting." As he kind of winks at Midoriya, as Midoriya looks at him and just says, "Maybe in a couple more weeks, months, maybe a year, who knows." As Uraka is now kind of in the dark, he says, "What is this important situation? Don't make me chuck you in the garbage can again." As Ida says, no, it's nothing." As Midoriya looks at them both and says, I guess you'll figure it out later." And with it, they start to walk as 9 months training starts. Midoriya and Uraka train together as Ida's now training with his brothers, particularly his older brother, to become a new hero. He's working more with his speed and endurance, but Uraka and Midoriya, particularly Uraka, is working with strength training. As Uraka is right now, you can see him on a clean beach actually, because they actually cleaned up the beach that All Might was cleaning up in a couple of weeks. Because with Uraka's gravity quirk and Midoriya's fucking massive stamina reserves, you can clean up a beach pretty fucking quickly, I promise you. But you do see Uraka right now picking up Midoriya's sword barehanded with 2 hands on it and swinging it around, basically working with her arms as well as the rest of her body, her core, her abs. There's a core and then abs are the same exact thing. Her legs, her glutes. She, as Midoriya is right now, shooting off rounds of the Desert Eagle 50 cal into the ocean, just. And this is where I can explain the Desert Eagle. The Desert Eagle has something special. Every time you shoot it, it has particularly 4 rounds. 4 different, not rounds, magazines. 4 magazines. 1 in the actual gun itself, 3 on Midoriya's hip. A simple tap will load the magazine, and he can cock it back. He has 10 rounds in each one of the mags. each one of the bullets fired from Midoriya's gun bumps up the speed, the strength, and the piercing power indefinitely, but it's only 0.01% for each one of the shots. So now he's just trying to bring up the percentile rate. As you see him boom, as the hammer cocks back as he unloads the mag, empty. So he puts his gun back into his holsters. He says, "Okay, Araka, now," as he's starting to stretch his body a little bit, as Araka now slams down the sword to the ground. Is it fighting training now? It's fighting training now. Now, as Araka says, kind of getting happy, almost giddy, like she was prepared for this. But Midoriya says, "Okay, just remember, I'm not holding back anymore. 100%. As Araka says, "I've been hoping for that for years now." As she grabs the sidewalk that Midoriya was standing on beforehand and lifts off a fucking brick as it becomes no gravity. As she grabs it, chucking it, as hard as she possibly can, and then releasing the no gravity onto the object, basically making it as heavy as a brick usually is. It's going quickly on Midoriya too, as Midoriya catches it with one hand though, and smashes it. As Rock looks at it and says, "That's not fair. You literally are superhuman. You cannot be genetically quirkless." As Midoriya smiles and says, "Well, I am. Well, we're going to figure this out then." As he pops up to Araka's face, as he does a furry blow, a fury of blows, just 1, 2, as Araka's blocking it with her body, as he surfs his side and goes for a good fucking jaw hit. He's trying to end the fight quickly as Araka moves, touching Midoriya, as Midoriya says, "Shh," as Araka taps her fingers and starts making Midoriya float. As Midoriya says, "Araka," as Araka almost giddily laughs at Midoriya like it's a puppet game. As Midoriya looks at her and just says, "Well, if you want to play it that realm," as he pulls out his 6-shooter, as he aims at her and goes boom, boom, boom. 3 shots as 3 fireballs come out, as it's 1, 2, and 3. As Araka releases, as she dives off, as it hits the ground, making 3 massive craters, as Midoriya drops and does a roll. As Araka says, "I think I'm prepared for this test." As Deku kind of wipes off his jacket a little bit, picking up his sword. I'm so sorry for the yawn, bro. Bro, it's addictive. He says, "Yeah, I think so too," but as he puts the sword onto his back and grabs his 6-shooter and looks at the mag and puts it back in and says, "Who would have thought you would be this skilled at using your gravity quirk? It's quite impressive." Hiraka looks at him, kind of flushed, but also like a little bit, like, "Oh yeah, of course. Well, you were the one that, taught me how to do it." As Midoriya looks at him and says, "That's nice." As we go with the UA entrance exam, as they meet up with Ida at the front gates, as Ida is prepared. He looks really muscular. He's even wearing a new gym suit. As Ida looks at him and just says, oh, damn. These aunts are fucking me up. He says, well, Uraka, Midoriya, how are you guys doing? As Midoriya looks at him and just says, great, how about you? As Ida says, I'm doing wonderful. But I heard there's some rules about, classmates going into the same classroom. So I don't think any of us are going to be in the same unit. So maybe me and Uraka. Uraka looks at him and says, really? Yeah, I guess so. As Midoriya looks at both of them and just says, yeah, let's get moving though. As both of them are starting to walk into the door, they hear a familiar voice. And Midori kind of says, fuck, why? As Bakugo is screaming, as he says, you damn Deku, why are you, as Midoriya looks at him and just says, what the fuck are you talking about? This is open to the public, for fuck's sakes. I don't even have to become a hero here. I'm just doing this to try my best, okay? As Baku kind of looks at him and just says, wait, what? As kind of like started, it's like, and also, did I not just save your fucking life like 9 months ago? So maybe, just maybe, get some gratefulness in your system and shut the fuck up. As Midoriya walks in, as Uraka smiles and just flips him off. As Ida says, I'm so sorry for my friend's rudeness. As, but he sounds like you're a dick, so I'm not too sorry. As he walks in with the group, as they take the test. Uraka struggles a little bit, but gets most of the right answers. Ida does a little bit better, but Midori does the best. He studies his ass off for this test. You gotta remember, better marks than it thoughts. He's a troubled kid, but he tries his best in school anyways. And when he finally comes for the exam, the robot exam, as President Mike is explaining it, he realizes he's in a room by himself. And he's right now sitting with the kind of a hot girl, I'm not gonna lie, but like, long, brownish, blackish hair in this light right now, maybe more black than brown. Really highly figured, as Midoriya says, looking over to her and says, hey, what do you want? As we see Momo, as she is now not taking the pre-exam because of the influence of her parents and her riches. She's actually taking a normal exam because she wants to see what it would look like, as well as she doesn't want her family to pay off UA to become a UA person. She wants to do it with her own merit and cause. As when they get onto the field, they're all locked into a door, as most of them are standing by, ready to fight. As Midoriya kind of sits in the middle a little bit of the pack. As she sees the girl one more time, as Prezimark screams, heroes do not have a time to move, as the door starts to move open, as he looks up. Well, let's get this over with. As Midoriya grabs his sword, picks it up, and just says, rip. As this is where we're going to end off the video. I hope you guys like it. If you guys don't mind too much. As see you guys later. Goodbye.